a total mess. And then you're wondering, what the heck? All the signs were there. I was aware, I listened, I followed, I was open and receptive. So why is this happening? And then you can spend a bad night and kind of feeling sorry for yourself. I'm talking from experience. And then, so those signs I find like the guiding signs with a twist, because you follow them, you think it's about something, the signs are actually there, but the outcome is not at all what you thought the signs were pointing you to. And that's when we can think, God had a different plan for me. Hey, beautiful. How are you doing today? So I want to do something a little bit different today because, as we all know, as highly sensitive people, we kind of get a lot of struggle in our life. Our sensitivity and hypersensitivity and intense inner world and inner life, it kind of makes life difficult. It also brings some limitations in terms of overwhelm and overstimulation. And I've talked a lot about that. But there are also good things that happen, more or less related to HSPs, but just since I always talk about HSPs, well, this is something good that can happen. And to get to the good part, I'm going to start by talking about signs from the universe or signs from God. There are, in my view, that I can think of, there's like three kinds of signs. There are the ones that I consider winks and nods from the universe. You're driving somewhere and you see a sign that gives you the word that you were looking for in a text. You're doing something, and through your day, as you're wondering if you're doing the right thing, it's like the 3 digits, 444, 555, or whatever, just show up everywhere. And we take this as just nods and winks of the universe saying, yeah, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Just keep going on your merry way. You're all right. There's the second kind that, what would I call them? Guiding signs, but kind of often guiding signs with a twist. And by that, I mean, let's say that you're thinking that you need a new job and you're aware and listening to where you should put your efforts and you're following your intuition. And then finally something shows up with winks and nods and it tells you, yes, you must travel there and go apply for this job or go for this interview wherever. And you say, wow, I got all the signs. The ease with which this is happening is really confirming to me that this is where I ought to go. So pack your bags, go, and it's like everything looks positive. The universe is supporting you. It is sending you to an interview and you're looking for a job. So that's what you think it's all about. And then you get there. The interview is a total mess. And then you're wondering, what the heck? All the signs were there. I was aware, I listened, I followed, I was open and receptive. So why is this happening? And then you can spend a bad night and kind of feeling sorry for yourself. I'm talking from experience. And then the next day, you get on the flight to get back home, all depressed because it's like, what did the universe mean? I thought that I was being a good student here. And then on the flight, you meet somebody that's sitting next to you. And what do you know? You're meeting your next husband, your next partner, your next beloved, or somebody that's going to be really key in your life going forward. So those signs, I find like the guiding signs with a twist, because you follow them, you think it's about something, the signs are actually there, but the outcome is not at all what you thought the signs were pointing you to. And that's when we can think, God had a different plan for me, but he still sends signs. And now I want to get to the third kind of sign, which is signs that bring you peace. So that's where I'm going to insert a little bit of my story of something that happened to me today. So as some of you know, I've been on the journey of writing a book, and it's been going on for about 10 months, plus the 12 years before, but intensely since the last 10 months. And a couple of weeks ago, I made a video saying, whoo, I finished writing my book, and it was all wonderful and happy. And then, of course, as books and projects go, some things start popping up, and it's like, oh darn, this needs to be corrected, and then it's the design portion, and we think it's done, and then there's a mistake, and then you have to do another one, and it's just like an endless string that can bring a lot of anxiety, which was my case. Big anxiety, doubting myself. So finally, this very morning, the book is actually designed, completed, digitalized, and ready to be uploaded. Oh, by the way, the book launch is going to be September 15th, where it's going to be officially available through Amazon and Barnes & Noble and other platforms. So this morning was the day I actually received all the documents, and it's like, this is now complete. So after a couple of total sleepless nights and my belly feeling like fire and twisting like this, and just this is all taking so much time, and I thought this would be published in June, and now I have deadlines of other kinds in my life, and how am I going to survive, and where am I going to live, and all this stuff. And this morning, as I was talking with my mom and sharing the good news, because she's my super supporter, it happened to be my father's birthday. My father, who has passed away several years ago. And we talked about that and just acknowledging that this was his birthday, and then talked about the book. And at some point it clicked, oh my God, with all the crazy delays, the last ones at 10 o'clock last night made that the book is finished on his birthday. And what's more is that the Word document that I began 10 months ago, the document of me starting the last part of the writing of my book that took me those 10 months, it was actually opened on the anniversary of his death. I mean, when I shared that with my mother, that was a profound moment. We were just like, wow. I mean, it's one thing to have the finished date, oh, it coincides with my father's birthday, but then to have the beginning being on the day of his death, you cannot make up coincidences like that. To me, this is a sign, this is divinely orchestrated. Possibly my father is actually watching over me and telling me, we're here, Annie. I'm here. You are supported. You're going to be okay. Everything is fine. We got this. And those are the signs that we receive sometimes that can bring so much peace deep within. When I realized those two dates, my anxiety just kind of started to melt away. And my breathing came back, and my shoulders came down. And I thought, oh my goodness, it's going to be okay. I am not alone. So often we think that in life, those of us who don't have a big support system, think that we're doing it all on our own, and that we have to figure out everything, and it's all up to us. And to me, these kinds of signs are like, no, stop thinking that you're alone. You are not. And something greater than me is there. I just love signs. I would love for you to tell me in the comments, what's your relationship with signs? Like, what are some crazy ones that you've had in your life, or just how you feel about them? And do you notice them in your life? Do you notice the synchronicities and the things that, it's like That can't be a coincidence. Come on. There is something else at play. And sometimes it reminds us that we're all connected and there is a flow and an intent and a circulation and a forward movement of things on this planet that we are a part of. And when I was asking you to share, it's like we talk so much about struggle here with my videos and everybody sharing like amazing things about themselves and how difficult life is. We need to balance that with good stories too, because life is everything. So share your good stories. We need that. The world needs it, and it exists, even for us highly sensitive people. So stay open. Look around for signs. Sometimes we beg for just a sign. God, please give me a sign. And then once in a while we get them. And we've got to savor this. That's my message for today. Have a great week. I'm going to go and maybe take the day off, the rest of the day off. A little bit, not quite. A little bit. Relax anyway. Then move on to the next part of uploading, marketing, connecting, making lists, seeing what kind of promo and support and cheerleaders that I find so that the book actually goes into the world and is supported in the 3D world and in the universal energy. So I love you. I will see you soon. Bye.